In the comic collecting system, there are two groups who are equally important in the collection of the hobby: the collectors who buy the books and the speculators who sell the books to the collectors. These are their stories. Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Tonight, I wanted to take a moment before I bring on my guests to say thank you very much. We're there, and I have scheduled the giveaway for January 7th. We're going to on my normal live stream night and time. So it's partly to give Canada Post a chance to get caught up. They came back today. My first Canada Post was junk mail after it came back. So, what can you do? But we're going to have 3 prizes on that night, and I will show the prizes a little later. Right now, let's have a big Matt Likes Comics welcome for Big Lyle Hopson.
How you doing, everybody?
Hi. We also got another guest who decided to drop by tonight. Can we get another big welcome for Mr. Steven Gentner?
Hola! Hola! ¿Qué pasó? Mi amigo grande.
Hello, Andreas. Glad you can make it tonight. Hello, Francis. Hello, Mike. JSS, welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to show a lot of books from the Charlton company. They are I find it for a company that has such a long history, they do not get the recognition they probably should, because they were always seen as cheap and not as, the books fell apart so much easier than other people. All right. So what have you been up to, Lyle? What have you been getting lately?
Well, I was out shopping today, looking around for some stuff, and I bought some new stuff, but I was visiting a few of the thrift stores the last few days since the last time we were all together. Pardon me. And I found a couple of stuff that I would like to share today. It's not just like Copper Age and maybe the Silver Age, or Bronze Age stuff, and maybe a couple of the Silver Age, the Silver Age as well. I'm all over.
That sounds like a lot.
It really sounds like a lot.
How many of these how many, you keep pulling all this stuff out of these thrift stores? How many thrift stores and secondhand stores are around you? There must be 100 of them.
Well, in our community, like the population of Kamloops is like almost 200,000. So a lot of surrounding areas have conglomerated together, and they have their little antique shops and thrift shops. And 30 or 40 miles down the road, there's another little community that I'll visit because I have family there, and so I stop in and check it out. You never know.
I didn't realize that Kamloops had 200,000 citizens.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually one of the bigger cities in British Columbia. I mean, Vancouver is so big.
Yeah, it's enormous.
The other ones that makes the rest of them look really small in comparison. But right. Victoria, Kamloops, Kelowna, they've all got some population to them. I have a cousin who lives in Kelowna. So,
yeah.
I mean.
Oh, yeah. A spy.
Every time I hear Kelowna, I think of Jerry Kelowna. You know, the actor, the bug-eyed actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelowna is about 135 miles south of where I am. And Kelowna is a little bit bigger.
And Vancouver's how far from you?
2.5, 3 hours southwest.
So that's almost like from Portland to Seattle.
About that same distance, yeah.
180 miles, 190 miles, like that.
I don't go down there because there's some crazy drivers.
Well, I don't go to Seattle anyway. It's the drive up the 5 is a bird.
My wife will drive. I'll say, honey, you drive. I'll just check the sights. I'm not driving in here.
For heaven's sake. Look it up. And I believe it's Cologna, I believe. I may be wrong. But he's with Mel Blanc, and he was with Bob Hope during World War II, all those USO shows. He's this pop-eyed guy that has a really high voice. Oh, I am going to the... he's an amazing character actor. He's a character, truly a character, and you see him in the Warner Brothers cartoons quite often. and he's emulated as well. And that's not a dirty thing to you people in Canada. If you emulate someone, it's not bad.
Yes.
No, it's all good.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite Big Lyle, because really that's why we're here. Lyle, why don't you show us some books? Steve and I will do a little commentary in the background. And thanks, Francis. He says he saw me at the show the other weekend, and he would next time he'll say hello.
Well, he was the minute he saw you, he was running so fast the opposite direction. He didn't have a chance to talk with you, I see.
Yeah. So Stephen and I will commentary, and then after Lyle's shown some books, we'll let Stephen show some books. All right, Lyle, the stage is yours.
Yeah, I'm just going to show a few. I don't know how many rounds you're going to do. I didn't bring very many, but I did spend the last couple of days going. I have a big collection, and it's, when you're looking for a certain book that you want to show, and it says it's in box 32, and it's at the very bottom of the pile, way over there. You're like, I'm not digging that. It's just too much. So the other day I was watching a program on YouTube that Mark Oldroyd from the UK, which is his Suddenly Comics. I was watching his program, and he was showing a couple of books that he had purchased at an auction, and so I mentioned to him that I had a couple of them that I was able to dig out, in a short time before coming on today. And so the one I'm going to show today is actually from a collection called the Oregon Collection. I have the certificate of authenticity in the back here. And
what collection? What collection?
Well, this is what it says here: the Oregon Collection.
Please, for God's sakes, it's Oregon, like a gun. Oregon.
I'm not American. Oregon.
Kamloops.
That's what it is. So this one here is number 9, 1962.
That's nice.
Cool.
The art is from Steve Ditko, and this is the first appearance of Baby Gorgo.
Baby Gorgo, not Gorgroup.
It's a key.
Right. And then the other one was also The Return of Gorgo. This is number 3 from 1964, and it's Steve Ditko's art. So I thought I would dig him out.
Ditko did quite a bit of Charlton. See, that's another reason why I think Charlton doesn't get the respect it deserves. So many good artists like Ditko, Aparo, Giordano all worked at Charlton.
And Giordano was one of the main men, actually.
Yeah, well, he was also the director of artistic. He basically ran the places with unofficial CEO.
Yeah, so these are the ones I'm going to show. The next 4 or 5 of them or so is the ones that I picked up today. So this one here I've never even heard of. It's from Eternity Comics. It's called Cat Claw, number 1 from 1990. It was different. I didn't have it, so I figured, well, what the heck? I'll pick it up for $4. And the other one I picked up was G.I. Joe and the Transformers, number 1 from 1986.
Oh, that's nice.
Just a couple of bucks. That's all I paid for all of these, was just a couple of dollars a piece. The other ones are the Transformers Headmaster, number 1 from 1987. That's the first team appearance of the Headmaster Autobots.
And of course, Optimus Prime is going to give his head to the Headmaster based on that cover.
And the next one, which I found, was Shogun Warriors. Oops, sorry.
Oh, I remember seeing them on TV.
Nice. Yeah. Number 1.
Number 1, first comic book appearance of Ray Dean, Dan Guard, Ace Combatra. This one's a Whitman edition.
Cool. Those are, it's amazing how when it comes to Whitman editions, some books have so many printed, like Action Comics 484 is pretty easy to find in a Whitman variant, and so many are not. It's amazing.
And the last couple of issues I picked up from the same area was they're I don't think they're really key issues, but they were Marvel 2-in-1, number 24 from 1977.
Nice. I prefer 2 and 1 to Marvel Team Up.
Yeah, the same one. Marvel 2 and 1. This one's number 49, The Thing and Doctor Strange. Oops. And these were like 50 cents a piece. They weren't very much. And the other one, The Thing, number 51.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. I'm sure I have triplicates of these, but I couldn't just let them sit there. And this one, number 66.
The Scarlet Witch. My son loves her.
Yeah. Number 70.
Hi, Alan.
Hello, Alan.
Number 74.
Hi, Legion.
And number 77.
The Man-Thing one is really cool. I think there's 3 issues of that series where the Man-Thing is part of it. And I think that they were probably some of the best stories of that whole Marvel 2 and 1.
Then I found a Heavy Metals magazine from June 1979.
We'd rather.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry. Get some sleep, brother.
Yeah.
This is the second appearance of Alien. This is from June 1979, Volume 3, number 27. And this one was the first appearance of Alien in Volume 3, number 1 from May 1979 in Heavy Metal.
That's another thing. Like, there are some serious heavy metal fans, but again, it doesn't seem to be collected as much as it should be. No. It's just a great magazine.
So the ones that I showed the last time on, I think on Alan's show, was those RBCC Rockets Blast Comics Collector fanzine. This one here is number 107 from 1974.
Cool.
Nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, that one's got a print run of 2000.
Is that a C.C. Beck cover?
Yes, this one is, yes.
Oh, no? Is it actually a C.C. Beck, or is it an homage to him?
Oh, it's just an homage.
Oh, well, C.C. Beck lived a long, long time. He was still doing books in the 80s.
And then this one is the Spinning of ElfQuest, and the cover was by Wendy Peeney.
She's part of the team. It's the two of them, the husband and wife.
And this was issue 146 from November 1978, and it had a print run of 2,200.
Very nice.
And this one is also from that artist. His last name is Newton. I don't know much about it, but it was this cover.
Now you have to do a little bit of sleuthing, Mr. Lyle, because if anybody can find out, I'm sure you will.
I will. I promise. By the next show, I'll have all that information for you. So this was issue.
Now, if you back up a little bit and shine the light on the cover a little bit more and tilt it back a little bit, we can actually light it up a little bit better. Because if you're too close, then it sort of gets into the shade. There we go. That's very Alex Raymond looking.
Yes. It really is.
Yeah, this one's issue 112 from 1974, and this one had a print run of 1,500.
Wow.
These things are hard to find.
I would believe it.
I assure you that the survival rate on those is virtually nil.
And they got this one. This one's issue 88 from 1972, and it had a print run of 2,250.
Nice. That is amazing shading. That is one of the this is one of the reasons why I like grayscale type so much. When you get the shading involved and you don't necessarily have the color, it looks great.
The Twister, number 77 from 1971. This one had a print run of 2,000.
Nice.
That's it. Mr. Gentner will probably be next now.
Well,
47 years ago, 1977. 47 years ago.
It's amazing.
It just doesn't seem possible.
So, Lyle, are you going to pull out some more Charltons? Do you have a bunch of Charltons or not very many?
I have a lot, but I like it. Probably for Friday's show, I can have quite a bit out.
Okay, because Matt had
That's
asked.
all right.
Matt says we're showing Charlton, so I
Well, I
was.
thought when I spoke with Lyle, he said he was going to show the Gorgo stuff, and I thought he was going to show more than he did.
I mean,
So,
dear, I did too. I thought that you had a bunch of Charltons to show,
Oh,
but
I do, but what I do, I'll if I'm invited on Alan's show on Friday, I will show a few more, a lot more. I have a lot.
oh, that
hey, man,
sounds great. Hello,
good
Hall.
to see
Yeah,
you. Hi, Steve.
um, Big Steve. Um, I like Charlton. I like Charlton Good Girl, and I also like the fact that Steve Ditko did a lot of work on Captain Atom and Blue Beetle and all these other ones. And if I believe, and I'm not mistaken, that Charlton did everything themselves. They printed
Yeah,
the books. They did absolutely everything in house. They
yeah.
didn't, and I think they distributed it themselves and everything else.
Everything
So
came out of their little place in Derby, Connecticut. And the reason they got into comic books was they didn't want the press to sit for 8 hours when they were doing cereal boxes and other printing.
I was just going to say that
Yeah.
that they had a great business printing cereal boxes, and rather than let the machines be idle, they decided that they would. Oh, thank you, Alan. They decided that, see, Alan, you can see all of my Pebbles and Bam Bams up along the top, and a couple of the Thunderbolt and Out of This World, and of course the really
That
cool
was
one
it.
I'll show you is this Fantastic Giants.
The
This
Pebbles
is
and
the
Bam Bam was the one I couldn't remember earlier before we were talking.
this is the 64-page special, Steve Ditko special, that they put out, and it's just all Ditko, and it reprints some of the monster stuff that he did, and you can see he's drawn himself as Mr. Inkpot right in the middle,
Yes.
and two brand new stories inside with monsters.
Yes. And of course he drew himself with a little bit of a hidden face because we all know how much Steve Ditko liked photos and publicity.
Yeah, like not at all.
Exactly.
Anyway, I found some, so next time you want me to show some, I'll dig
There will
them
be
up.
another round, Lyle.
Okay, thank you.
But Charlton had some. I've shown my the Good Girl Charltons that I have before. I will show them again sometime. But I just pulled out the Charlton I have just available close at hand, the most of them, and they had some screwy titles. Here is Gunmaster and Gunboy #1.
No, that's a good one.
Gunmaster and Bullet the Gunboy.
Oh, that is an interesting name. It's Bullet the Gun Boy.
Oh, it
If
is.
you forget the comma there, it's going to completely change the meaning there.
Here is the beautiful green cover.
Well, now that is beautiful.
And you see that Bullet Boy, the Gun Boy, has bullets for his title. All the creative team worked late into the night, burning the midnight oil to come up with this one, boy. Here's one that I just came across, and I just, as a matter of fact, I think I came across this down at Seaside in that antique mall that I got all those really cool books that I showed the other day. But this is like the Dennis the Menace version, Little Genius. It's got Homer, Timmy the Timid Ghost, Wild Bill Hickok, Black Fury, Freddy, whoever that is, and then the Masked Raider.
Nice.
It says Bluebird Comics, and it's a federal shoe department. Isn't that screwy?
Yes.
I said I've never seen it, so this one, oh, here it is. It's Bluebird Shoes #3, 1959 giveaway is what it is. 1959 giveaway.
Hi, Lau.
All right.
Now the problem with their lettering is it's like a typewriter, and that has always been the knock on Charlton.
Unless it was some of the artists like Jim Aparo did their own lettering as well to collect the paycheck. So
Here, this is Soap Opera Love. I don't know what this one. I just have this close by. Soap Opera Love, number 3. It's a 60 center. And it says here the caption: Jewish David and Irish Eileen knew their love could overcome any obstacles. And this is A. Martinez and John Zuniga. And so they're in the sack together, and there it is.
And thus they invent Chrismica.
Now this,
Oregon.
the Oregon, that's it.
I'm trying.
That's
Well,
all right.
To be fair, an American example of that is Americans always pronounce it Montreal when it should be Montreal.
Really, I like Montreal better.
Or
I always say-
Montreal.
Yeah. Blue Beetle, so good.
And you'll notice that was the first appearance of the question,
Yes.
and then the question got a one shot.
And it's so nice you got it twice, eh?
Eh? And all this stuff, as you can see,
That's a beautiful one.
is Ditko.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yes. I didn't want to say I have that one, but I do.
That's all right. You can say it. There's only one person that can't say that.
He's not here. He's
The
only
origin
here.
of the new Blue Beetle and the fate of the old Blue Beetle.
Oh, yes, the Dan Garrett one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
What's the
I
grade
didn't
on
realize-
those, Stephen? Are they high grade?
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't realize that was Charlton. I thought that was actually one of the last Beatle appearances in the one the Fox. Not was it Fox?
Fox
No.
Features, Fox Features
Yeah.
Syndicate, Mystery Men.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
So Ditko. This is such complete Ditko.
Yes. He is so good. People forget, I think.
Blue Beetle number 4.
Yeah. Charlton doesn't sell up here like the old stuff. When we had a comic book shop that closed during COVID, they were just giving them away.
Yeah, it actually sells pretty good in this area. There's a lot of dealers that carry it.
And I believe this is the last issue.
Very
Looks
nice.
great. Looks great.
It's sad that Blue Beetle didn't hang on more than it did.
This was the interim when Dan was Gardner, whatever his name is, Garrett is still doing it. I have a couple of slabs of the number 1. I have a 7.5 and I have a 5.5 or something. It's one of those ones where I put a really low bid on a 5.5, and then as I scrolled, I saw a 7 that was very reasonably priced. So I didn't figure I had a snowball's chance at the 5.5, and so I bought the 7, and then the guy took the 5.5, took my offer, so I have 2. But it's one with a mummy on it. It's really a cool cover. That's volume 2, number 2. This is volume 3, and then their numbering system is more difficult than stereo equipment instructions in Chinese.
The Eye of Horus. Oh, very nice.
They damn done busted, and they've got these Hindu fellers are having trouble. All right.
So the
I
Hindu
will-
guys are having issues with the Egyptian god, and the American has to step into peacekeeping.
For a dam that would be built in the United States. But let's
Yes.
not mix our metaphors here.
Oh, but it's so fun.
I will now. I'm going to show some Space Adventures. Space Adventures number 33 is the first appearance of Captain Atom, and that I have that in a slab, and I don't have that here, but I do have it. And the numbering is hard to see, really hard to see these, but these are all in order. And again, look at the artwork, the face structures and stuff that they have here. This is a 10 center. And what
I
they would
actually prefer that look for Captain Adam compared to what he looks like now.
Oh, this Captain Adam was cool. His origin, do you not?
Yes.
Okay.
The nuclear test, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was the scientist, and then he's this well regarded. And then he got shot into space because he couldn't get out in time. They launched it with him inside. And then the ship blew up, and then he reconstituted and came back to Earth, and they put a special suit on him because he's radiating all manner of problems. He should shower. You'll notice down at the bottom, they have all these screwy ads. Transagram sweepstakes. Do you guys remember Transagram at all?
No, yes, I used to have board games made by that company.
Well, and then Transagram also had this not Trick Track, but they had these toys that they had as well. Transagram was something. But you see, they put ads right on the cover.
That feels like YouTube today. Ads everywhere.
I pay the fee, so I have no ads, and it's the best money I ever spent.
Oh, I don't mind. There's really not that many compared to like even regular.
I don't care for that.
Well, that I will admit, ads are what turning me off with the football.
Here is courtesy of Bonomo's Turkish Taffy. Win your own car, and you got a 59, 58 or 59 T-Bird, and then you got some kind of a Plymouth Fury convertible, and nice stuff.
Those were the days.
Yeah. I used to enjoy modeling, but my hands can't do that sort of thing anymore. So
I don't have the patience for it. I've got all these models that I built when I was in college in 1973. Oh, Bonomo's Turkish Taffy is good. You can still get it. And it's this hard taffy, and it comes in kind of a foil wrap. And what you do is you take the stuff and you smack it down on a hard surface, and it shatters into a whole bunch of pieces.
Hi, Robert.
Then you open up the foil, and then you have to be real careful, because if you try to chew it right away, you'll tear your teeth to pieces and rip your fillings out. You have to suck on it for a while to soften it up. And they had chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and banana. And banana was absolutely bilious, and the strawberry was I don't know what kind of flavoring they used. The chocolate was the best one, and vanilla in a pinch, but strawberry if you have to, and never banana. If there's banana, you just have to walk by. Once again, we have this Win the Treasure Chest, and this particular one is from a company called Barzim, BAR-ZIM, Barzim. And I said, what in the hell is Barzim? So I looked it up, and it's this company that has these skill toys where you're rolling the beads, the BBs into the eyeballs of the clown or whatever it is, the little tilt games that you could get. They had board games and Chinese checkers and stuff like that. But they have a treasure chest here where you can win your own television set, 100 silver dollars.
Wow.
A Stelber bicycle, Stelber. I like bikes, but I ain't never heard of Stelber. A portable phonograph, and an encyclopedia set, but they just say cyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
And terrific Barzim toys, plus hundreds of other prizes. And they put the ads right on the cover because they could.
Well, Charlton looked for every penny they could get.
All right, and this will be the last one in this round for me. All of these space adventures are the very earliest appearances of Captain Adam.
Very nice.
And after this, Captain Atom goes into, then they have different titles and stuff, but the numbering just continues on. And so my next round, I will continue to show Captain Atom's, where just pick it up. They're all chronological, so whatever the titles are and the weird numbering and stuff, they'll go from 17 to 54 and 55, 56, and that's the way it is. So
between the Golden Age and Charlton, there's a lot of research when you're looking for numbers and stuff. It's almost as bad with Marvel today. But okay, before we get to the next round, I'm going to take a couple minutes and show the crowd what the prizes are going to be on draw night. My third place prize, I'm going to do 3 draws on the 7th of January on a live stream. The third prize will be this complete set of the Man of Steel from 1986. John Byrne, Dick Giordano. Byrne did the pencils and he wrote it. Giordano did the inks. This, of course, is setting up Superman after the crisis. And number 6.
nice.
Well, the second prize is this mystery box of 30 comics from my friend Dave Martin at Kaboom Comics. There are 10 DC books in here, 10 Marvel books, and 10 independent books. There are chances, there's a minor key in every box, and there are chances to get some medium to major keys. He put a couple in, and he did about 30 of these so that people would be encouraged to buy them. And the first prize will be a $100 US dollars credit. Basically, it's like
Gift certificate.
It's a gift certificate with Bleecker Street Comics, which you can use at either the Band of Brothers auction they do every month, or you can call Bleecker. You can contact Bleecker directly and look for books. What I'll do is I will send the name of the winner so that he keeps track of it. And I want to take a couple moments to thank Bleecker for for not only being amiable for this, but for throwing in $20 of his own money on that. And I also want to thank Alan for kicking in some money, and Stephen here for kicking in money. We really appreciate it. It's almost like I have sponsors. Anyway, thank you very much, people. I really, really appreciate everything you guys have done. I've just tickled pink to even be there and to be on YouTube. Then to have great fans like I do is just absolutely honor. It's humbling, and I'm very honored. Now, Lyle, let's get you back on the books before I make people fall asleep.
Ta-da! Anyway, while Stephen was showing his Charlton, he gave me the opportunity to find a couple of boxes back here that did have some Charlton, so thank God for that. So this one here is $6 Million Man.
Cool.
Oh, yes.
This one is number 3 from 1976. It's a VF Plus. Not very often you find them like that.
No.
Right? This one here, The Lonely War of Captain Willie Schultz. Number 76, 1985.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I have a Nate actually sent me the first issue of that on the DC for the DC of Thunderbolt, and it's here in my pile to read. I really appreciated that, though.
This one's number 58 from 1967. And there's just odd titles. Lil Rascal Twins.
Nice.
Well, there's
Number 6.
there's that same kid from my shoe store.
Yeah. This one,
looks like a red-headed Dennis the Menace, doesn't it?
Little Genius. Oh, it's a complete ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's from 1957. And then we have, again, Little Genius, 1957.
Yeah.
Right. Shadows from Beyond.
Nice.
Cool.
Now,
Who did the cover for that? That's very Twilight Zone looking.
It's Steve Ditko.
That is a really cool
Well,
cover.
I was going to say,
I've never seen that.
Is this a Twilight Zone type book, or is it more of a horror, psychological
Horror. Yeah, this one's number 50 from 1966.
Awesome.
Number 50.
Number 50.
There were 50 of those?
It was probably
50.
started at
Come on.
All-American Sports.
Charlie
Number 1,
had such screwy
1967.
stuff.
Oh, I know. Lots of weird stuff.
Yep.
Beetle Bailey's. This one's from 1972. The art was done by Mort Walker.
Yep, he's the guy that was the creator of Beetle Bailey.
Another one.
Didn't he also do Hagar the Horror? Oh no, that's Dick Brown.
Same style though.
Number 77.
Right. Yeah.
Then we have Charlton Premiere presents Sinistro Boy Fiend.
Good Lord,
Right.
I've never seen these before.
This one's number 3, volume 2, 1968.
Dig those pants.
Yeah.
I like the pants on the girl.
Done
Holy
by
smokes.
Henry Scarpelli. Love Diary,
Nice.
number 27 from 1963.
Read the story titles from the cover, would you, Lyle? They're great, I'm sure.
Love blooms in movie land. Crowd, spotlights, Hollywood premiere, all a part of the greatest love affair of the century. Don't miss Hollywood romance.
Of the century. There's no hyperbole there.
High School Confidential Diary,
Nice.
number
Now
11
you'll
from
notice
1962.
You'll
62.
You'll note that by telling the story, it's no longer confidential.
You'll
That's
notice
right.
the trapezoids. You see the prices in the trapezoids?
Yep.
Yes.
They use trapezoids for their price, and that was during a particular era of the book.
He says, I love you, Diane. I really mean it this time. I love you with all my heart. He's so convincing. If only it were true.
That schlep.
We got another one, High School Confidential Diary, number 9 from 1961.
The three guys are in love with themselves.
Oh, yes. It looks like the love connection.
I thought I was too grown up to listen to advice. I thought I knew what love was. Too late. I learned I was a teenage fool.
Sounds promising.
Mhm.
The other one, Just Married,
Nice.
number 69 from 1970.
Sorry.
Charlton, yep.
It's a child.
Love My Neighbor.
The Phantom.
Okay, the Phantom is great. I have a couple Phantoms for Charlton.
I just found out who this Newton guy is. It's Don Newton. This is Don Newton art.
Well, Don Newton's name brand.
Don Newton.
Don Newton is name brand. He did a bunch of stuff.
Cover art and story. And this
Very
one's number 73 from 1976. Space Adventures
Very nice.
Very nice.
from 1963. Just a few more. Pacemaker.
That's all right.
Peacemaker.
Oh, Peacemaker. That is one I would like to get my hands on. All the Peacemakers.
Yeah, this one's from 1967. Origin of the Peacemaker. Another Peacemaker from 1967, number 3.
Nice.
Young Brides. It's called a lip lock cover. Number 4, 1976, psychedelic. Pardon me, psychedelic flower cover.
It sure does look psychedelic. First thing I thought of is, yeah, I wonder who did that because
Vic Draw McGraw.
And what was his companion's name?
Oh boy.
um,
When I was watching these when I was a kid, these were all in French, so it would be a totally different name.
His name is Baba Louie.
yes.
Baba Louie. And this one was number 5 from 1971. Texas Rangers. Number
Nice.
38 from 1963.
Wow.
And the last one, Surfing Wheels, number 4 from 1970.
Surfing Wheels, eh? That should be brought to you by Brian Wilson. Oh, that's awesome.
It says, now I've got it. No, never mind. It's mine. Some men will do anything to get a trophy. The White Angels battle for the trophies. Ooh. That's it. I mean, I have a lot more, but I'll dig them out. If I had known it was going to be a Charlton night, I would, Stephen wouldn't be here.
Well, you know what?
Well, I don't mind. I do like, you have quite a bit. Now, I saw in the chat that was one of the people that said, "Do we have any of the war comics?"
Yeah.
Right.
I had some of the Charlton war comics, and Sam Glanzman, I think, was the artist that did a lot of those. And I remember reading those as a kid, and the artwork was, and Rick Estrada, I think, also did some of the work in there too. But it was so awful, and the American sailors looked more Japanese than the Japanese sailors in the comics. The ships and stuff were very cool, and then it had that terrible typewriter font that they use for the word bubbles. And these guys think that they're Charles Dickens. They want to put so much information. Well, I was thinking about maybe I would be going, and then we would be going to Midway, but I decided against that when I decided that I should be talking with my friend Tom, who I met in my and as this goes on and on, you don't need that,
No.
Okay.
No.
Stephen will make you big.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Here is
you're 6 feet tall.
Here, what?
I said you're 6 feet tall now that he's made you bigger.
I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm only 5'7". Amazing. I wish that were anyway. Strange Suspense Stories, Captain Adam, Volume 1, number 75. Now this picks up right after Space Adventures, and then it turns into Strange Suspense Stories, and it has a completely different numbering. They've shifted it to a different title, but this is the origin of Captain Adam retold.
Nice. Now, when you say origin retold, is it retconned into a different origin?
No, it's his story.
Okay.
It's the story.
Because they did make some small changes to it. It's pretty much the same in DC, but they did make some small changes to it, including pushing them 20 years in the future.
Still Strange Suspense Stories. And now we shift into Captain Adam.
If I remember correctly, it's the same book. They just dropped it, right? So similar to Marvel did with Thor and Captain America.
Yes.
Yeah.
They came from Planet Blue.
I know. I picked up something for dinner.
What's for dinner?
He's turned off the mic.
Sorry, I should have mic'd it. My wife says, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "Whoa."
I think I'm just going to go with the steak, baked potato, and Caesar salad again, if it's all right.
Anytime.
There you go. He said anytime.
Thank you, Mrs. Lyle.
Yeah.
Her name is Alana.
Hello, Alana.
Hello, Alana.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Oh.
Dr. Spectro is someone who there were words that he was going to be used as a character somehow. So there was a certain amount of spec on that. Absolutely having nothing to do with anything. I had two. I wasn't because of the spec. I just managed to pick up two.
That is probably one of the most beautiful covers Charlton has ever done, just because the colors look so nice. I don't know if that's the Wheel of Rainbow or what, but that just looks so
different, dangerous, diabolical. They had to find 3 D words to put on there: despicable, desperate, dinky. Witness the birth of the incomparable.
The
Dr.
incomparable.
Spectro, Master of Moods. It's a fun one.
Again, I wonder why so many villains have doctorates.
Well, it's a very busy university, I can tell you that. I think it's
Yeah.
near I think it's in Quebec, isn't it?
Well, probably.
No.
Ditko, all over the place here. Ditko, doing what he does.
He did so much.
You could just squint your eyes a little bit. It could be Spider-Man. I mean, it's just how he drew.
He was so prolific at Charlton. It was a shame almost for the company when he moved to DC and started doing the Creeper and stuff like that.
And this character is known as Nightshade.
Yes, I was going to say that is one of the most famous Captain Atom books because of the Nightshade appearance. A lot of
Really
people
good.
actually want that book.
I was at a convention, and there was a dealer who is somewhat irascible guy. And if he was making a bunch of money, why, he would be somewhat terse and less than helpful. But I was at a con years ago, and he was set up, and I know him. I know the guy. And so my comic buddy and I was saying, I'd like to pick up as many of these space adventures and early Captain Atoms because I really like them. And that's when I was putting him together. Well, he had very sharp hearing. And so he says, "Oh, Steve, are you looking for Captain Atoms?" I actually have some nice space adventures, Steve. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Did he take a pill or something? What happened? And then he says, "Oh, let me see what I got. You going to be here tomorrow?" Yes. I said, "Well, I was sitting at the table helping my buddy at the con, and so then I asked my friend. I said, 'Why is he being so nice?' He says, 'Well, he hasn't sold anything, and you said you expressed an interest, so let's see what he brings.' And so he did. A lot of those space adventures I got from him, and I have a reputation that I do like to get high grade stuff. And so they would call out the ones that were too rough and what have you. And then he said, 'I know this one's too rough, but I just wanted to show it to you.' And so I picked up that's how I really picked up a big chunk of these.
Nice.
Here's another.
It's amazing. It's amazing to have contacts, isn't it?
It is. And it makes a big difference because that's why, this is Steve, you miss. Now, I do miss the social part of the conventions, but the problem is to schlep to the thing, to have to park at an expense, then having to fight your way through the crowds. The food is expensive. There's no place to sit down. People are jostling you around. People with baby carriages and yowling children, and guys with backpacks that are about 4x4x4, and they turn around and they're knocking you as they bring all of their life's possessions to the comic convention. Why do they feel that they need to do this? Why do you need to bring all of your camping gear to go to a Comic-Con? And then after a while of course, you guys, I've gone to them for decades and decades, and I finally just had enough. And as far as what I would find, and also I have found that at a convention, if there's a book that's too expensive and it doesn't sell after the convention, then chances are you're going to be offered the book in a much more favorable fashion. And I would really rather not have convention pricing because dealers, and I understand it, it's just pure economics. You have to be able to defray the cost of the table, travel, food, lodging, logistics, any extra stuff, power that they supply to you, that the con is, all the things that they do, if you have to pay for better placement, all these things.
Yeah.
And all of those expenses, all of them, plus their own time, all of those costs have to be rolled into and then loaded on top of the books.
Yeah.
And I would rather not pay all that overhead to buy a book unless I absolutely have to. That's just my feeling about it. Now on a Sunday, but on a Sunday, if they haven't sold anything, then they're also much more amenable. to make a deal with you. And if they're not even amenable on a Sunday, then they're not that interested in selling. And if you have an idea of how close the prices are for a given book and how much trouble you've had trying to find it. Now, there are a lot of caveats with that. If it's a book you've been looking for the longest time, and you walk into the con, and there's the book you want, and it's in the grades you want, but it's a little more expensive than you want to pay, but you haven't seen it, and you know you want that book. Well, I say, well, I'll come back and I'll pick it up later on. So you go away, you walk around, you check it out. It says, okay, I'm going back. I'm going to buy that book right now. Well, you get back, the book's gone. Because what you
Happened to me
do
with
is
Action Comics 252, because the guy would not cut me. I think I've told you this story before, how I offered him $50 less because that's what I had on me. And he said no. And then so I went to get the more money, and he sold it behind my. I should have left him the money. I should have left him the money. That was the
Did
last.
you know the dealer? Did you know the
Oh,
dealer?
he was from it. He was an out of towner.
This all I'm winding up. It takes me a while, but I'm under the lemon tree here. But it takes me a while to wind up. The fact is, that happened to me a couple times where I was too freaking cheap, and then I lost out, and that happened a couple times. And so, what I have is I have a doctrine. It's called the target of opportunity doctrine, and that is if you walk into a con, and there's the book you want, then you go pick the book up and hold onto it until you're absolutely certain that you either don't want the book or can't get the deal you want. Because sure as hell, if it's a desirable book, there's a guy standing right behind you getting ready to reach over, grab that book, and buy it. I mean, that's been my experience.
Yeah. Well, my problem was there was nobody else there. It was literally the beginning of the show. Okay. Like I get VIP tickets to the show I'm talking about, so I get in an hour before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw it right away. And I was carrying $750. And I said to him, I got $750 on me. I'll buy that right now. And he was like, no, sorry, I want $800 for it, and I'm not taking a penny less. I'm like, okay, I literally will be right back. I was gone 5 minutes, and he sold it under me.
Well, you're going to find a better book less expensively than that one.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get. Because
yeah,
the karma,
I haven't been able to.
You will
find a 252 cents, and I haven't been able to.
It'll happen.
If I was,
you
I
will.
probably won't have that kind of cash again. This was when I only had one kid, so it's a little.
How many years ago was that?
Was a good. Well, I was going to get a 3.0 Supergirl that was in a slab for $800. He offered it, so it was before the huge. It was before. I think it was during season 1 of Supergirl. It was quite a while ago.
No, you'll find it.
You'll get it, Matt. Trust me, you're going to get it. But so that's where that doctrine came to me, and so that's what I did. And so when I went to San Diego, and I'm getting ready to look at all the different booths and stuff, I walked down an aisle. I took a left-hand turn, and there was a guy named Nelson Dodd that had he had all manner of the Ohio collection of Standard Nedor and Fiction House and all these beautiful books. And I didn't go any further because they were exactly what the kind of things I was looking for. And I just shot my entire load right there. All the money I had, I spent it right there. Because I said, I knew if I walk away, this stuff's going to be gone. And I still have them now. That would have been 1997 or so, 1998. Yeah. And I've never regretted it because of that. So, but the target of opportunity doctrine is just assume you're not going to see it again, hold the book, and then say, okay, I will. Now, if you had a credit card or something like that, if they would take a credit card,
he wouldn't take a credit card. You wouldn't take a credit card.
I'm saying if. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with the transaction.
I was going to say back then they weren't taking a lot of credit cards. It's more common now. Believe
A
me.
lot of, especially if you're going to be, people don't like to carry around huge chunks of dough. But the thing is that you basically talk to the dealer a little bit longer and say, look, I'm in earnest. Here's the money or whatever. Just if it's a book you want, then you just want to make sure that you close the deal, and make the deal happen before you walk away. And I've had it where I've set a book down and then a guy comes in right behind me, picks it up and buys it without squawking. And the difference was $50 or $25 for me. I mean, stupid. So that's why I won't ever do that. Then, of course, there is a caveat to that. Then you go around the corner, and then there'll be another copy of that book. Let's say you
For
buy the book,
50%
and
less.
then there'll be another one. That's happened too. But
Yes,
that
but
happens far as a percentage. That happens far, far fewer times than it is that I thank God that I bought that. For example, when I saw that Captain America annual from Canada, that
yeah,
rare Golden Age book, I knew I would never see another one of those. I never have. So
Or that Mighty
I
Mouse.
just didn't. I made the deal happen. I said, I'm not leaving until I got the deal. I've made this deal. I'm not going to leave. So anyway,
yeah. Well, we
Or
had. Oh, hang on, I'll make you big in a second. We were just. I had that doctrine happen. That Alice Cooper book I bought recently.
mhm,
I hadn't seen it in years, and it was in my top probably 25 books to get.
mhm.
And I just dropped it. Like he had it for $50. I dropped it, but because he's a friend of mine, he handed me $10 back.
Really?
Yes, well, he's a good guy. I've done business with him for 25, 30 years. So almost the entire time I've collected on and off.
which one?
That one right there, Big Lyle. That's right.
I was just like, I have
Oh,
that
sorry,
one
wrong
too.
Yeah, no worries. This one here.
Yeah, I
That's
love
it.
that book. And you know what? I read it, and it is absolutely awesome. The jokes and the silliness in it. It was a great read. Anyway,
Well,
if you got-
he's a family man now. I mean, he's a dad
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and and he still puts it on. But
yeah, it's all dad jokes, basically, that book. And
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it.
now the new Blue Beetle, the Ted Cord Blue Beetle, I really do think is better than the Dan Garrett by a mile, because I like all the science fiction and the things that Ditko brought to it with the bug, his ship, the bug, and he
Yes.
has this the sort of the thing that where he can swing on this cable, down here that he can retract and go in, and he has the guns and he has all the different whiz bang science fiction stuff that he has. Where I don't think that as the mystery man from the Dan Garrett, they didn't really know what to do with the guy.
Yeah.
But I do think though that the one of the things about Blue Beetle that of course is for me it's just right up my street is when the Good Girl Blue Beetles started in with Fox Feature Syndicate, because Jack Kamen artwork and all that beautiful stuff, and I mean just fantastic stuff that they had there, All Top and Rula, Zoot, Blue Beetle, and all that, and that era from 47 all the way up to 49, absolutely just prime Good Girl, really nice Good Girl stuff. The earlier stuff a little bit better because there are less word balloons with stuff cluttering up the art. Here is they have another Nightshade here returns. And Punch and Julie are the two villains there in the background.
Nice.
Okay. I realize there's quite a sameness about this, but I do like Captain Atom.
Yeah, and then this is the change to the next outfit, if I remember correctly, right?
Nope, this is still Captain Atom.
No, the next outfit. He looks
Oh
like
yes, this is the next.
uniform.
Yeah, this is the next incarnation.
Yes.
Volume 2, number 86. We're almost to the end here. And then there's a character called the Ghost. I have a couple that are slabbed. I have the first appearance of Captain Atom in Captain Atom, or first appearance of the Blue Beetle. I have that in a slab, I think in 9.2. And then I have Space Adventures 33, and I have that in like an 8 or an 8.5. I really have a high grade copy of that one. And that's
The
a
Ghost?
really hard book to get, that red cover.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that the Watchmen is basically a bunch of the Charlton characters, right? Just redone.
Yes. Yes.
Well, DC actually pushed Alan Moore to try and get him to use the Ghost, and he didn't. He refused to do it.
Why so?
He just felt that there was no role for him in the story he was building.
What does he know about storytelling?
I know, eh?
Should listen to you.
I got 2 of these. I don't know if Punch and Julie ever did.
No, I don't remember ever seeing it myself. Lyle,
What's that?
did Punch
Were
and
Punch and
Julie ever
Julie ever around again?
No, they did not.
Here is Ditko and McLaughlin. The one set I haven't shown you, because I have them all in slabs and I have them buried in a box, are
Right.
the Judo Masters. And I have
Oh,
all the
yeah.
Judo Masters, and I love the Judo Master run as well. And it's not that long.
Yeah, they were fun. They just like Yin and Yang and all those. Charlton
I like
stuff.
then Little Tiger or whatever is his sidekick and stuff. So that is my, and then the ones that I have back up behind me there, that is my, and then the Judo Masters that's the entirety of my Charlton.
Can I show a couple on that?
Please.
Yeah, we're gonna do a small round with Lyle because I see by the clock on the time I'm gonna have to wrap up shortly. So
Yeah,
go
I
ahead,
just-
Lyle. I'm going to be happy.
I just dug out a couple of more. I thought maybe Stephen would like to see them, or everybody would like to see them. World of Wheels.
Nice.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, this one here is number 28 from 1969. It's a Ken King motorcycle cover. I've never seen another one.
Wow. With any luck, you won't.
And this one here, Haunted, Baron Werewolf's Haunted Library, number 52 from 1980.
Haunted Library.
The Haunted Library. So
Is
what
she gonna?
says-
Is that woman in the back seat gonna get viscerated? Do you suppose?
Oh, I don't know.
I think she's the bad guy.
Yeah, she says, watch that car, Henry. You're driving too fast, you fool. This car is filthy, you slob. Wash it when we get home. Drive faster. We haven't got all day. And then he says, one of these days, she'll drive me too far. And then the other one's a Hanna-Barbera, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch.
Okay, that's
Oh
funny.
yeah.
That looks like Earthworm Jim down in the bottom there.
Yes, it does. So this one here is number 2 from 1975. And then we got Timmy the Timid Ghost.
Nice.
This one's from 1968, and the art was from John D'Agostino.
Mm.
Okay. And the last one, Strange Suspense Stories. There's a little bit of writing on the cover, but this one was number 3 from 1968.
Very nice.
That's it, boys and girls.
Well, I want to take a moment to thank Big Lyle and Collecto for joining me
very much.
tonight. You know, I really appreciate your knowledge and your collections. And I
you.
do believe that the audience likes it too, because we always get the woohoo, Steven's here, woohoo, Lyle's here. So I'm pretty sure you liked out there. So for those that want to enter my draw, make sure you comment on the video where I made the announcement that I made it. That's where I'm going to draw the comments from. Okay, 33 people have already made comments on there, and I'm very, very pleased to see that. As I said, we're going to do a live stream on the 7th of January. There will be guests.
Oh.
There will be.
That's a special day.
It is a special day. What's the special for you, Lyle?
That's my wife's birthday.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, we may have one less guest than I expected then.
Oh no, I'll be here. Don't you worry.
So, everybody, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. My name's
Thank you
Matt,
so much.
and I like comics, and I hope you do too. Night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
Right.